What's going on YouTube? I believe we are live. I'm not entirely sure. Let me just double check that this is live. I don't know how to use this software, not gonna lie. It says it's offline but also online. I don't really understand. Let me try to reload this. Well, if we're live, it's Joshua D coming to you live from Wolverhampton in England, and I believe we're coming through. Yeah, we're live. Cool. This is sweet. So, hello, welcome. This is the Chronicles of Joshua D, number 1, on May the 29th, 2019. It feels good to be here. And this has been a long time coming. I first got the notion of doing a podcast, a long form audio content, maybe 2 years ago. Since then, I've been recording the podcast on a sound recorder, but never really getting around to actually editing it and publishing it and making the audio good enough so people can actually listen. Kind of just been procrastinating, and no more. It's time to actually produce something that I'm really, really passionate about, and that is long form content. And I really, really like to talk. As anybody that watches this in the coming weeks, the months and the years that this goes on, they'll figure that out. And the reasons really for starting this is life for me has gone pretty bonkers the last 5 years, really. I feel like I went from being super, super normal, following the trend of life, following the pathway of life, to a pretty crazy experience of the world. I've managed to do a lot of different things. I've traveled a lot. I've met a lot of different cool people. I've operated a couple of businesses. And yeah, life's gone pretty crazy. So I think that there's definitely value to be shared here on this longer form for people that I work with, people who want to get to know me more, people who want to be motivated, inspired, all of those things. That's my intention of this. And more than anything, I want to give people vision, because in this crazy world that we live in, it seems that vision has been lost and a lot of people are being funneled into boxes that aren't for them. They're being channeled into pathways that they don't believe in. And I don't want that. I don't think that's the way the world should be. I don't think we have to live in that way anymore. And all it requires is vision. If you look at anybody that has ever achieved anything great, they had a vision and then they worked towards it and they made it happen. But that's been lost. Regular people have stopped thinking big. And I don't know why that is. I mean, you could use excuses any which way you want, but in general, it's going to be the society that we live in. I think there's a big revolution coming in terms of the way people view the world. Like, you're going to hear a lot on this podcast, this show, that I believe university is dying, especially for the good percentage of people. Like, just briefly, my backstory with university is that I got channeled in. I remember at 16, I went to a careers day, as you do. And this woman was like, Josh, the only thing that you can do to become successful is go to university. And I was like, okay, like 16, impressionable, academic. You listen to what you're told, And I remember being told distinctly that if I didn't go to university, that I wouldn't ever be able to earn more than £40,000 a year. I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't go anywhere. I wouldn't achieve anything. And when you're 16, you're super impressionable. Like, your brain has been molded by everything that you're experiencing. So I did what practically the majority of most academics, or anybody really in the education system in the UK and similar in America from what I've heard. And I went to university. I went and did a degree that I wasn't really that passionate about. It's kind of just whatever. I did environmental science. It seemed a good idea at the time because I was promised a graduate job. I was promised the golden graduate job. So I worked hard for 4 years. And I say hard, I did like the usual, turn up a little bit, do modules that are absolutely shite, and just sort of get through it. Played football, had a good time there. But in general, I spent most of my time at university kind of thinking, what in the hell have I done coming here, paying this much money? Like, I was the last year to have the university fees at $3,500 a year. The year after me went up to $9,000, which is literally robbery. Like, how they can charge that is just beyond me, considering the majority is just a PowerPoint that they use recycle every single year. The guy sits at the front, or the girl sits at the front, and just talks in a very monotone voice, just like, and this is this, oh, this presentation again. And you sit there, you take notes, you go away. And really, you could learn all of that on the internet for like, I don't even want to say a tenth of the price, like way less. If you YouTube whatever you're learning, if you Googled it, if you did some independent research, you'd find the same stuff. You just don't get the accreditation that university gives you. But that's kind of the funnel that we're put into. And I left university with a pretty good degree. I got 2-1. I would have got a first, but I obviously broke the rules and didn't get this one little checklist done, which capped me at 69%. So I couldn't, no, 69%, yeah. So I couldn't go into a first, which is whatever. And then the classic, let's apply for a grad job. You go online, you search grad job, you get back 150 results, all good money. And you're like buzzing. This is going to be easy. You apply for like 10, you don't get anything back, and you think, okay, maybe it's just the first 10. You apply for another 10, takes you about 100 hours, you get nothing back, or you get like an email back saying, congratulations, you've made it through round 1, and you're absolutely buzzing. Come on, I've got through. And then a day later, unfortunately, you have not made it through round 2, and you're like, okay, that's strange. You look at how many rounds there are on, there's 8 rounds, and you're like, wow, this is impossible. So what do you do then? Just end up in a shitty just for now job. Everybody asks you like, what are you doing here? And you're like, oh, well, I kind of graduated uni and just sort of looking for a job. When in reality, you have no idea what you're doing there. You have no idea what's going on in your life, but it's so difficult to admit to yourself, like, university fucked me. It's so difficult to admit to yourself that you're in 30k of debt for no reason that you can think of. And it's really difficult to admit to yourself that you followed somebody else's path and somebody else's vision because you didn't know what else to do. I've been there. Like, I remember that I was working as a barista in Scotland. And I was like, what in the hell am I doing? I'm on minimum wage. I've got a degree. What is going on here? And you look online and there's literally like most people that you say, oh, you can't get a grad job, that's not applying for grad jobs will be like, oh, just apply for more. You just got to try harder. You just got to work harder. And it's like, how many grad jobs can you apply for before it's not even a job you want? Like, I remember going through the list of like anything that was like more than 25 grand a year. And then it dropped to 20 grand a year. Then it dropped to 15. I wasn't even looking at the job title. I was just applying mindlessly. That could probably be why I didn't get many interviews, but still, I was in so much desperation and panic that I didn't know what else to do. And anybody watching this that's been in that situation will feel this. You feel trapped, lost, frustrated, and nervous. Like, where do you go from here? So that's kind of where I was at. And I don't want that for anybody else. You know, I see people just getting sent off to universities. They don't have any clue why they're there. I don't want that. I want to provide a place. I want to provide an opportunity where people can actually learn a skill set that is profitable. That's kind of why I got into business. It's why I do the content that I do. It's why I'm on this journey. But we're going to look at that in other versions of this podcast, I'm sure, later on down the line. But that's kind of my experience with uni. I know a lot of people have been there too. It seems very, very common. But yeah, that's one of my big goals, is to let people know that university is not the be all and end all. Like I was told, let the impression that you leave on people be that you can go out there and do life better without university. Because I do believe that. I believe there's a massive transition coming in terms of, I'm 26 as time of filming this, and everybody my age that went to university is kind of like even a generation ahead of obviously people like 4 years now, like 26 people graduating at 21. So 4 or 5 years is a long time. Things change very, very quickly in the world. Like even from when I graduated to now, the world is a totally different place. So there's a big shift coming. Even people my generation don't like university. They don't like that they went to university. Yeah, there's going to be the odd one that got a good degree, but even still, most people that get a good degree that go to a job that pays well aren't really that satisfied there. That's been my experience. Because why is that? Well, you look online, you go on Instagram, You go on Facebook, you go on YouTube, there's people doing stuff all the time that's fun. They're traveling, they're doing projects, passion projects, they're chasing their dreams, and you're in a 45-hour, 50-hour-a-week job climbing a corporate ladder that you don't even believe in. Like, that can't last, can it? That can't be a thing that continues. It's just impossible. Whereas before, there's a smaller percentage of people that thought the way I do. That percentage is rising rapidly. Everybody I speak to is like, university, blah, blah, blah. So there's a big transition coming, and anybody that is not feeling university, they need something to change. They need somewhere to go, and that's what I'm building. That's my big passion. I feel like I've just repeated myself a lot there, but I hope this is getting the point across, because I speak about this all the time. And my previous podcast that I recorded had like an outcome, a goal that I wanted to achieve, but that is probably why I didn't publish them, because I don't really like that. I kind of just like talking, firing from the hip. And that's what's served me very, very well. Seemingly that authenticity is what people actually crave now. It's no longer like, when you go to uni and when you listen to people on the news, on TV, there's always like an agenda. There's always this like framework that they stick to, and it's so boring. Like, you watch an interview with staged questions and like staged answers, and you watch reality TV that's staged. Everything's so staged in life. You feel like you're in that. You feel like you're going through that motion of like, oh my God, is this really what it is? Is this really what I have to do? And I honestly don't think that that's how life should be. I think we've got lost somewhere as a culture, as a community. I don't know what's happened, but not many people live in joy anymore. Like, I see so many people, all they do is complain. And I know that's probably a British thing as well, but there's just so much complaining. There's so much negativity in the world for no reason. News is negative. Social media can be negative, and that can't last, like, people keep saying negativity sells, but really, why does it have to be that way? Why can't we make it positivity sells? Why can't we make it that authenticity sells? Why can't we make it that being more you gets you better rewards and gets you close to what you actually want to do, and you help more people along that way? Like, why can't that be the way that life is? And I really am a strong believer that that is what's going to happen. And it's already happening. Like, I don't know what the actual attendance rates are to jobs and university, but everybody I seemingly know is trying to find a way out. That system's broken. Everybody sees that. Everybody wants to go away and do something that they're passionate about. And it's not even just like not working. Like, I love working. I love recording content. I love doing sales calls. I love just doing all of that aspect of the world that I'm lucky enough to have now. So it's not like avoidance of work. It's avoidance of aimless work, of pointless, mindless, numbing work, of turning up to somewhere that you don't even want to be to get a goal and an outcome that you don't even really care about. Like, really, who's happy on 30 grand a year right now that's just getting the same money every week, every month, the same monotony over and over, saving 200 quid? It's just not like, the zest of life isn't there for a lot of people. I know that I felt that. Whereas you could earn half the money, you could earn a tenth of the money, but if you're passionate about what you're doing, life is just so much better. Money becomes just a tool. It's not like a dependency. It's not like you're climbing a ladder. You're just trying to give back. So once I had that mindset shift, and I realized it's not the number of viewers, it's not the follow base, it's not the income, it's the doing and the passion in that doing. I was like, oh, wow, more people need to experience that feeling, because it was just like eye-opening for me. I didn't even know that world existed. I'd always heard about artists and people that were creative, but I wasn't really that creative in terms of, in a traditional sense, like okay at drawing, okay at music, just below average. But the world has opened up now. You can create any which way you want. You can create businesses. You can create unbelievable brands on Instagram and social media and Facebook that make you money, and you help people, and you like create content around stuff that you love. That's accessible now. But when you tell someone in a traditional mindset that that's what you're going to go and pursue, you get absolutely lambasted. I hate that. Why is that? Like, but whereas if you tell someone in a traditional way of thinking, I'm going to go and do a job that pays me 28 grand a year, and I get a corporate car, and then I get benefits, and I get 28 days holiday, most people are like, yep, no, that's a great decision. That's like secure and stable. Fuck all of that. Why? Like, what do you mean by stable? Another bit of my backstory is that when I was 21, I had cancer, got diagnosed with cancer in September of 2014. And up until that point, I'd lived like the normal life, relatively healthy, like not athlete level, but played a lot of sport, ate well, drank quite a lot of alcohol, to be honest, especially at uni. Again, did some drugs, quite a lot of drugs actually. But I wasn't like one of those people that like, bloody hell, he's unhealthy. I was definitely one of the people that was like gymmed a lot, and I still got cancer and I still got the rug pulled from underneath me. So how can you say the life is stable? Life could literally be gone. Like, but we don't live that way. Everybody talks that way, but nobody lives that way. Everybody says life is too short. Go out and do what you want, but nobody actually lives that because people don't believe they can do that. But why? Why? Like, where's that gone? Where's that disconnection? And I think it's just from years of people failing. It's just from years of people trying stuff and then letting their fear project onto others. But this is a new age. This is a new era. The system's in place. There's so many good things happening. There's good people. There's courses you can do outside of the traditional system that actually make you money. Like, you're not going to start off making absolutely heaps. And this is another thing, like, people presume that if you start a business, like the minute I opened a business, and I view my first business really as being a poker professional. I wasn't really that good at like being a business person, but it was still kind of not a job and it was still supporting me. The first thing everybody asked, how much money did he make? How much? And it was never like, Josh, do you enjoy your time? It was always just like, how much money do you make? So what happens then is that people will not chase their passion. They will not go off and pursue something because they think that if they don't make money in like the first week that they're a failure, or if they don't make money in the first year, they're a failure. That's just not true. Like, that's just absolutely ridiculous. Like, you go to work and you learn, like, a probation period for most jobs is what, 16 weeks, 13 weeks or some shit. And in that time, you're not like trying to set the world on fire. You're not like trying to complete anything. And when you get through that, no one tells you you've failed, but you've earned like what? I don't know, $5,000. But in the business world, it can be much less. You could work a whole year for free. You could work 2 years for free. And people will tell you that you're absolutely mad for doing that. But why? If you wake up and you're passionate and you like got a roof over your head, you've got food, you've got water, you've got all of your, excuse me, that's the coffee. You've got all that stuff sorted. Why isn't it a win that you're spending your time doing what you want? But there's a big disconnection that people think you have to earn 10K a month in business to be a success. You don't. That's just another metric of success that comes later on, 2 years in, 3 years in, whenever that will be, because if you stick at it, it will happen. Like, you're going to be a success. You're going to make money. And if you don't, you can still be a success. Like, I just don't know how we've got so caught up in the fact that it has to be now, now, now. Everything is now. You start business now. How much money have you made? It's like, why don't we ask better questions? Why don't we ask, like, how do you feel about life right now? What's your vision looking like for this year? Where do you see yourself in a year? Like, how do you feel when you wake up? Like, why don't we ask those questions? Whereas, how much money have you made is just an irrelevant question, because if you earn 10K a month, but you spend 11K a month, you haven't earned shit. Whereas if you earn 1K a month, you've got no real expenses because you're doing, I don't know, volunteer work, or you're passionate about something, so people are covering your costs. I don't know how it is, but you end that month with £1,000 or 500 or even £100 after your 4 weeks of work, and you've loved every single day. That is a massive win. It's massive. And again, I never used to think that way. When I first started in my current business, the first 3 months, all I was worried about was money. I was like, oh my God, I need to make money. I need to prove myself. Oh my God, if I don't make money, people will tell me I'm wrong. And they did tell me I was wrong. I think in my first 3 months, I made like, I don't even think I definitely didn't make profit. I don't know. I probably lost. I invested probably about £1,000 into advertising, saw no real return. But to me, I was learning the skills. I was learning how to advertise on social media. And I was like, well, this is so cool. I felt great. And then I told somebody else who wasn't doing that was in a regular job that was on 40K a year, that I was like not earning money. They were like, why are you doing it? Stop doing it. And I was like, what? I was like, why is that the rhetoric that we're told? Why is that the way that life has become? It's just absolutely bonkers, where it really should just be, congratulations, this is absolutely amazing. Wow, you've learned a new skill set. You feel good. You're pursuing something. You're building something bigger than you. That's the vision that I want to give to people. I want to give people permission to go and do that. Yes, you might fail. Oh my God. Yes, you could lose some money. Oh my God. Shock, horror. Money is just energy. It's not even a real thing. You could be gone in an hour. You know, people cling to this idea that if they have money, they're safe. You're not. Yes, it helps. It's nice to be financially secure. Obviously, that's the goal for a lot of people, but money doesn't like guarantee you anything. And that if you start holding on to it, you create like a resistance and a need for it. You're always going to struggle anyway. It's going to be painful for you. Life will be scary. You'll always have the fear of loss. Whereas if you're just doing what you actually want to do, life becomes a whole lot more fun. You just start going places, magical people pop up, opportunities pop up. Like, since this current business that I'm in, I've literally traveled to, like, I've lived in Colombia, lived in Thailand, visited Malta, visited Spain, visited America, visited Ireland. You know, I'm just trying to think if there's any others. Australia, you know, and that's blessed. I feel really good. And right now, do I have £1 million 2 years later after starting? No. Do I have £100,000 in cash? No. But what I have is 2 years of absolutely world-class experiences. I've built an unbelievable network of friends, family, people that I really care about, people that I work with that I love. And I've got enough money to get by. I'm doing well now financially, you know. But to most people, that's seen as a failure. And I want to change that rhetoric. I want people to realize that the get rich quick idea and the get rich quick schemes preys on the mind of people that want to get rich quick. Think about that. The only reason those scams work is because someone somewhere convinces themselves that that is possible. It's not like, yeah, the scammer facilitates it, but in reality, whoever gets scammed actually does that to themselves. Think about that. Because if you see something that's like, make this much money in 2 weeks or make this much money in 90 days, you know deep down that's not right. You know somewhere that that's not true. Yes, there's going to be people that actually genuinely think it's real, but the majority of people are actually looking for a get rich quick button because they think that's the answer. So they allow it to be the answer. So they see an advert or they speak to somebody, and then the story in their mind starts going, oh yeah, that can work. That can work. Because if I just get 20 grand in the next 2 weeks, I'll be happy. I'll be safe. I'll be secure. No, you're scamming yourself. Whereas the rhetoric and the story you should be telling yourself is, what can I do to make my days better? What can I do to add more value to other people's lives? What can I do to go to bed more satisfied? And that will require a change. It will require you to invest in yourself 9 times out of 10, because if you don't commit money to something, you don't stay the course. Like, think about anything you've ever done. If it's free, you give up when it gets hard. So you're going to have to invest money. But once you realize that the actual fun, the actual value, the actual enjoyment is in the process of just doing, of like, wow, this is cool. Like, what I'm doing right now is bonkers. Like, talking into a microphone, a couple of people watching live, going for 24 minutes to try and add value to people's lives. That's crazy. That's so beautiful and so pure that I can do that. I feel really blessed, you know. But the minute you fall in love with that process, life becomes a whole lot easier. And that's the big mission here, is to get more people doing what they want to do every single day. Yes, there's going to be people that invest money and don't receive money back. Like, it's like a personal development course. Most people invest the money. So they say pay 5 grand for the course, thinking that they'll get the 5 grand back from that course straight away or directly from that course. And then it doesn't happen. And they're like, oh my God, the course didn't work. I got scammed. It's like, no, because that personal development work you did could come back to you in 6 months when you meet somebody on a train. And then rather than being the old aggressive you or the old cynical you or the old frustrated you, you're now the new version of you that's like happy, excited, like got a lust for life. And that person that you meet also happens to be looking for somebody to fill a job role that pays this much money, or they're looking for a new business partner, or they've got this good idea, and your frame of mind has changed. So you get that job, you attract that person into your life for one, and then you get that job, you get that business opportunity, you get to go and do what you want to do, and you make way more than $5,000, you know? But that like attachment to direct outcome is something that we're conditioned to do. It's like go to work for £10 an hour, get £10 an hour. But that's not the way in the new world. That's not the way in the business world. And that's the way the world is moving. Like a lot of people see this, that like people that talk in a certain, like humans are so perceptive. That's one thing I've really realized over the last 2 years is we're very, very good at sensing things. Maybe it's conscious, unconscious. I don't really know. For some people, it'll be a mixture, obviously. But we're very good at sensing if people are actually trying to help us or if people are just trying to make money out of us, you know? So that's changing. And if you're the kind of person, so as the flip of that, if you're the kind of person that's always looking for the bad in something, you're always looking for the get rich quick, you're looking for the instant hit of gratification, other people will sense that about you. And if you're a business person, if you're like, say you're starting a vision right now and you're going to build this company and you look to recruit people or you look to bring in investors and you subconsciously, consciously sense that the person you're speaking to is just in it for the money, are you going to choose them? No. So why would you position yourself to be one of those people? Why wouldn't you work on yourself first? And this is like life 101, is that the better you get, the better life becomes. It just is the easiest equation there is. Like the more personal development work you do, the more you control your mind, the more you control your body, your habits, your outlook, the conversations in your head, the better life will get. It's the easiest equation there is. And it's the greatest investment because it's not going anywhere. You put all your eggs, like you get the get rich quick opportunity come along and you put $5,000 into it. Obviously you lose your money, someone gets off. That $5,000 is gone. It's just gone. You're not getting it back. Whereas if you put the $5,000 into your own personal development, your own self, it doesn't matter if the business opportunity goes tits up. It doesn't matter because the $5,000's still been invested in you. You're not going anywhere. You'll be with you 24/7, 365 until you die. You are your number one greatest asset. And the biggest con, the biggest scam that we're taught from an early age is not to invest in us because that's selfish. That's what we're told. No, that's the most selfless act there is, because the better you become, the more you can help people, the more you can serve your audience, the more you can serve your family, the more you can serve your friends. And I never believed that until it happened to me. And you become a beacon of light to people. You become the thing that they cling to. You become the leader. And then you cling to other people. That's just human nature. We're tribes, you know? So if we're a tribe, which we are, always have been, always will be, what member of the tribe do you want to be? Do you want to be the negative person in the tribe? Do you want to be the person that drags others down, the people that is a naysayer, the people that stays in line, does as they're told, is boring, not approachable? Or do you want to be the maverick? Do you want to be the person that's really out to help the tribe by helping themselves? That's a decision you can make at any time of your life. And once you make the decision to go out and do more, doors will open. So this podcast is going to continue for sure. We're going to have guests on. Definitely, I've got a lot of cool people I want to interview, and there is going to be rambles just like this, because I'm really passionate about spreading this message of positivity. Like the stuff I get to do now, like in 2 weeks, I fly to San Diego to speak on stage and help people. And I started this 18 months ago. This is bonkers. Like anybody can do that. The people I'm sharing the stage with are also regular. I was a barista on minimum wage. You know, this is possible once you start going inward and once you start investing in yourself and realizing that the system, like I don't believe that that there's like people in a boardroom wearing black suits somewhere like plotting any of this stuff. I don't honestly believe that. I'm not a conspiracy theorist anymore. But what I do think is just an old system, you know, and things move on. Like we used to use Bebo and MSN, that's gone. There's a new system in place. And anyone that's the early adopter wins. It just is the way it is. So that old system of like slow growth, like go to uni, college, work, learn things in a slow pace to then get promoted slowly to then finish your career over a 40-year period. It's just getting compressed. That's the biggest difference. So like my education online, I can just consume, I can watch 10 hours a day. on 2x speed because I love it and I just download it into my head, that means that in one day I can learn more than I did in a month at uni. Do you see how that changes? So whoever adopts it quicker wins. And this transition is going to happen whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not. And which side do you want to be on? Do you want to be the people traveling, spending time how they want, going to events, accepting change, accepting that it's scary to do it, accepting that it's not going to feel comfortable. But on the other side of that, you get a life that was previously unheard of. You didn't even think it was possible. But I'm telling you that it is possible. If you really want to go out and change the world and change your world, in fact, to go out and change the world, just change your world. That's a better quote, you know, like just do it. There's no better time than right now to just buy a personal development book. Whoever's watching this right now, reach out to me and I'll give you a personal development book for free. You know, I've got a couple in mind that really changed my life. I'll send you a copy. That's the first step. Don't think of this as like, oh my God, I have to start a business. I have to learn all these skills. I have to learn to talk on camera. I have to learn to talk on stage. I have to blah, 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 blah. No, you take this very slowly, incrementally. But by slowly, it can be a year. What you can achieve in a year in the online world, if you just go all in, is absolutely baffling. Like, I look back to my first day in the online space. I didn't know anything. I didn't know how to talk on camera. I didn't know how to speak to a microphone. I didn't know how to run an ad. I didn't know how to write copy. I didn't know how to run a team. I didn't know anything. But just from being all in and taking that approach of like, I could die tomorrow, because you can. Shock, spoiler, you can. I could be a bus this evening. I don't know when it could be, but it's going to happen. So that time will pass until that point. You may as well enjoy it while you're here. And the minute you do that, and the minute you start like really going through the new motions of change, the quicker you get results, the quicker you start to wake up happy, the quicker you can be like, wow, this is a whole new world. The quicker you go traveling the world, the quicker you start spending time with your family. But until you make that decision, nothing is going to change. You can just sit on the fences. You can talk about change. You can talk about how shit life is. You can listen to, you can conspiracize. I don't know if that's a word, but I hear people like, oh, the system's against me. This is against me. Yeah, but so what? Change. Everybody else that changes. Why are you different? You don't have to be different. Just make the decision. And it start right now. You can make the decision right now to be different and go out and do something that you want. I'm sure you can tell from my voice that this gets me super fired up, because that decision is everything. And it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be like, I've decided to become the best version of me. Now I am that. No, it never ends. You never can stop getting better. Humans are born for growth. And there's still going to be down times. There's still going to be times where you don't want to do shit, where you don't want to, like, I don't know, whatever it is, business you start, you don't want to make that call, you don't want to post that ad, you don't know, whatever it is. Like, it doesn't have to be business, it can be an adventure, whatever, vision, whatever. There's going to be parts that you don't want to do, but you just do them because it's like, you can see where you're going. So once you have that vision set of what you want your life to look like here's an exercise for you right now. Take out a piece of A4 paper with a pen, sit down, get a coffee, whatever you want, and just write down and start writing, I want my life to look like, and just fill the whole page. Talk about what house you want, what car you want, how you want to feel, who you want to spend time with, where you want to go, what you want to do. Be specific, be greedy, take it all, have the biggest vision possible. Like, my version of that is probably 6 to 7 pages long, where I just actually write down what I want, because you're allowed to have whatever you want. There's no lack in this universe. The universe is always expanding. By you having something doesn't mean that somebody else misses out. That's just what you're told. Again, that's what the old belief system, the old system that's gone. You can have whatever you want. You just have to work for it and set the intention of getting it. And it starts with knowing what you want. So take that piece of paper, write down absolutely everything that you want in life, and then take one small step. Reach out to me, get a book off me, go on YouTube, type in personal development and just watch someone. If you're further ahead in the journey and you have somebody that you've been watching for a while, invest money, buy a course, you know. Like, I have courses that I could recommend. Some of them are mine that, like, I'd love if you paid for them, because I know how good they'd be for you. But I use many different courses that I pay for that aren't mine that I could suggest. And then when you're further on down the line, make the investment bigger. Reach out to more people, you know, start building this vision step by step. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if this is the first time that you've ever heard about a new venture. If this is the first time you've ever heard about having what you want in life, you can have it all. You just have to decide to have it all. And then take one small step. And then tomorrow take another step. And then tomorrow another one. And before you know it, this momentum will just build and build and build. And you will have forgotten what your old life was like. That happened to me. I never expected any of this to happen. Like going to Las Vegas next month for 3 days. One of my ultimate visions ever, being a professional poker player, a gambler since 16. Not like one of them crazy fucking gamblers, but like, not like a roulette spin, you know what I mean? I've always wanted to go to Vegas just to absorb it. And then before you know it, I get invited to go. Like, this stuff is real. It can happen. I'm no one special, really. Like, anybody who knows me knows I'm just some bonkers little kid from Wolverhampton in the UK with a vision. And you can have that too. So just go and get it. What are you waiting for? You don't need my permission. I give you permission, and I give you the platform and the space to just go and get it. And that's what my legacy will be, is getting people to go and do what they want to do, whether that's with me, through me, with my help, or without. Either way is good for me. That's really what I'm going to leave on this earth. That's my mark that I want to make, because it's a beautiful experience. It feels really, really good to just wake up and be like, oh, what am I going to do today? Or wake up thinking, oh my God, I don't feel good, but I know that this is getting me closer to my vision. Do you see how you can't lose? There's always going to be ups and downs, but the downs I used to feel, like when I applied for a grad job that I didn't get, I'd be like, why did I even apply for that? I didn't even want it. Now I didn't get something I don't want. I feel twice as bad. Didn't know where I was going. And I feel that pain if you're there. I feel that pain a lot. That frustration, that hopelessness. But know that there is a way out. And the Chronicles of Joshua D will show you just how. Like, I've been going for 38 minutes, which feels good. I've got the world's driest mouth, but that's what I wanted to end this first podcast on. It's been a bit of a rant, but it feels good. Let me know if this has been of value to you. Whoever is watching this, I appreciate you no end. I'm very grateful for you being here. Go out, get whatever you want. Be the change that you want to see in the world, and I'll see you on the next episode. That's been it from me. I've been Joshua D. Go in peace, stay blessed, and stay aligned. Peace.